New episodes of the I Know You Didn't Ask podcast are out every Monday and Friday, available wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. Welcome to I Know You Didn't Ask. I'm your host, Megan O'Donnell, and we're back today with another killer episode all about the latest and what's going on in pop culture news. Today's guest is Brandon West. Brandon is the face of Front Page Pop, which covers everything from celebrity and music news to reality TV gossip, aka a perfect guest for the show. It is truly where I'm getting all my hot news right off the press. So welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I love all your content, so I'm so excited to chat with you.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's Super Bowl Sunday. It's 11 a.m. here on the East Coast. Do you care about the game or who wins?
Not particularly.
Same.
Yeah. More excited for the, commercials, the halftime show, of course, any drama that comes from that for sure.
I know. I'm really so out of the sports world. I asked my husband yesterday, I'm like, so who's playing? He's like, really? You talk about pop culture, you didn't catch that? I'm like, no. The Super Bowl to me is like a Bad Bunny concert with a side of football.
Exactly. It's like a different category.
Exactly. But I'm not even going to watch it with him and his friends tonight. I'm like, I'm going to have a solo me night with no sports, but I will stream Bad Bunny's performance on YouTube or something.
Yes. Just get the halftime show. You'll be good.
Exactly. It's all I need. And then, I do like seeing the ads. And I feel like so many big celebrities now are doing these ads. And they must be getting millions of dollars. But it's crazy because these ads usually run just during the Super Bowl. Sometimes it's just for this one viewing. And it's oh, here's millions.
It's pretty crazy. And then I guess now, especially with social media, they kind of hope it goes viral there. And I've seen some brands tease their ads already on X and Instagram and stuff, which I guess I get it, but it seems like a waste of money to also air it at the Super Bowl if you're just going to post it on social media before anyway. To each their own, I guess.
There's a marketing machine that I don't want to know about. And it's so funny because the trademark phrase Super Bowl is so ironclad that every company is get ready for the big game, eat these nachos at the big game. Okay,
I work in social media and marketing for my day job, if you will, and you cannot, all the companies I work for, they're like, do not say Super Bowl, we will get sued because everyone tries to leech off of it.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's also I guess when everyone talks about the big game, there's one big game.
Yeah.
But again, for the sports of it all, could care less. I'm just simply interested in the food. But because I'm not going to a party tonight, I've been debating, I'm going grocery shopping this afternoon. I'm thinking of making my own buffalo chicken dip for one. I feel like
yeah,
tis the season.
Get your own treats.
Oh, I was like, I have French fries in my freezer, and then I can make buffalo chicken dip, and then just have my own little solo night. Again, no sports whatsoever. I need to catch up on some Bravo shows. I haven't watched Summer House yet, which is my favorite show.
Neither.
I don't know why. I feel like I'm I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm not ready to start.
Yeah,
I'm not ready to get into the drama.
There's so many shows. It's I feel like I'm behind on every show. It's
that is true. And now with everything is great on Bravo, but then I'm oh, I have to watch Heated Rivalry. I have to watch this. I have to watch on HBO this documentary. And I'm okay, I can't be watching 70 hours of TV a week.
Right.
That is. And when I used to do this show, when it was just Bravo Happy Hour and we was just about Bravo shows, talking about the news, talking about what's going on every week.
Mm-hmm.
I have a full-time job. I was podcasting twice. I was I simply cannot watch more. And I would go to the gym and watch Bravo episodes on the treadmill. I'm I know this sounds like a first world problem, but I feel this is Bravo's taking over my life.
Yes, it's real for sure.
It's nice to have boundaries at this point in the game. I'm you know what? I don't need to watch Summer House and be live tweeting it. I can watch it a few days later with my buffalo dip.
Yes, exactly. I'm the same way about the Valley person style because I love Shaws of Sunset, but for some reason I just haven't started yet, and I'm so excited to. I don't know. There's so much other stuff I need to catch up on. It's
and sometimes these Bravo shows are actually nice to binge. Like, I kind
Mhm.
of like watching I'm like, I like dedicating 6 hours to a show.
Exactly.
That's how I am with, like, I'm up to date on Persian Style because it's really good. I mean, if you're a
That's what
fan
I
of
hear.
Shaw's, you'll absolutely love it, and some of the
Yeah.
newbies are really great, and, Reza, Gigi, and MJ all have not changed, and you don't expect them to, like, and you
Yes.
don't want them to.
No.
But the newbies are good, and there's a lot of good drama amongst everybody. But I haven't watched any of the new Vanderpump. I think I watched the first
Mm.
episode, and I feel like that show is like falling flat.
Yeah, I watched I think 3 episodes. I keep again, I keep meaning to go back and like catch up. It's just one of those that's at the bottom of the list, but I have been keeping up with like a lot of the drama on social media.
But yeah,
Um,
I always keep up. Like, I'm like, I know all the
yeah.
players, so then I can always like listen to like Watch What Crappens podcast. Like, I listen
Yeah.
to recaps of shows I'm not watching, which I
Yeah.
guess is a great moneymaker for Watch What Crappens because that's like the best of both worlds. But I
Yeah, you
just,
get the little tidbits.
yeah, I'm like, I don't care. And then it's like, I see it's like incest cousins. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. I'm like, "Do I wanna watch that?" I don't know.
exactly. I'm like, I think I'm good. I don't
Yeah.
need to see that. We got enough of that on The White Lotus, and that like, shook America. Oh my god. Well, I mean, it sucks when it's like, okay, good times, giggle, laugh, and then like quick pivot to Savannah Guthrie's
Yes.
84-year-old mother, Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping. So Nancy is an 84-year-old woman living in Tucson, Arizona, who mysteriously went missing, supposedly the night of January 31st or the early morning hours of Sunday, February 1st. And as of Sunday, February 8th, 11:13 a.m., there are no updates.
No. I've
Nothing
been
concrete,
refreshing
at
all
least.
morning just in case.
You have no idea. I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna get a fucking Google alert at this point. I'm like, I need to know the latest and greatest in what's going on. And I mean, obviously, any sort of kidnapping is very confusing, and you have to kind of question the motives.
Mhm.
And she's an 84-year-old woman with health problems. So I'm not to say like, oh, usually people kidnap someone like younger who kind of they can unfortunately like torture, sexually, emotional, like all the
Mhm.
things. Unfortunately, like that's kind of where kidnappings are usually happening. And
Right.
so for this 84-year-old like sweet grandma from Australia, like to be abducted from her home, it just feels like it's targeted in a way that
Mhm.
doesn't make sense. Like,
Right.
why her?
It definitely seems targeted and for some specific reason. I've seen so many conspiracy theories about it, especially like the whole Epstein related one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about that, but
Oh,
there's also
yeah.
like
I'm
stuff
like,
about
I
her
lay it
son-in-law.
on me. I'm obsessed with the Epstein of it all.
Yeah, it's like just the fact that she interviewed a lot of the victims on TV, and that special was aired, and then I think it was like the night of or day after the Epstein list was released, then she gets kidnapped. It's weird timing, even if it's not related. So it's just,
Yeah, and
um,
it's the Epstein thing where Savannah really was like going hard. Even like up until like 6, 7 years ago, she's been helping vocalize the stories of these victims. And then I forgot that she also was the moderator of the 2020 election debate where
oh,
she
me
was
too.
grilling Trump. And so now people are like, oh, this is a politically targeted attack.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I maybe I'm like naive to think like someone would be so upset with Savannah Guthrie, like
Yeah,
it
it
for like a
seems.
political reason. Like Trump is back in office, so whatever happened in that debate, like didn't move the needle too much on the public like
Mhm.
affection or hatred towards him. And then like with the Epstein stuff, like everybody and their mother is talking about what went on with Epstein and platforming his victims as they should. None of the people who are like doing the bad things get in trouble. but like Savannah Guthrie's mother is like used as a pawn. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, that's why that seems like a little far-fetched, even though like the timing is weird. I've seen some stuff about, the son-in-law. I haven't heard much about that lately. I know that was like a theory at one point, and
Yeah.
then was it, I think yesterday, she announced like, oh, we'll pay the ransom.
Yeah. So yesterday there's been a few ransom notes that we don't know if they are legitimate or not. They've been sent to a couple different sources, including TMZ. And like, okay, this person is a messy queen sending it
Yeah.
over to what's his name, Harry Levin or something.
Yeah.
So they sent it to TMZ and then two local stations in Arizona, and basically, is it Harvey? Yeah, Harvey Levin.
Harvey, yeah.
Yeah, he was saying the letter begins with saying she is safe but scared. They go on to say they know exactly what the demand is, and so through us, they want us to tell the family, and obviously the sheriff's department to give the family this letter. They know what we're demanding, yada yada. So basically, the ransom notes are saying you need to give us a ton of payment via Bitcoin. And then so Savannah and her family came out yesterday, Saturday the 7th, basically saying, like, we received your message. We understand. We beg you to return our mother to us so we can celebrate her. This is very valuable to us. This is the only way we will have peace. To me, that kind of implies that the ransom note might have suggested that she's no longer alive. We beg you to return her so we can celebrate her. This is the only way we will have peace. Like, it kind of implies that like she's no longer with us and they've killed her, unfortunately. And I mean, like, that video of Savannah and her siblings, like in the second one, both of them have just been like gut wrenching to watch as they're like pleading to these fucking kidnapping torturers to get like to release their mother. Like, it's just, it feels like dystopian a little bit. I'm like, what are we watching?
Yeah, it's so sad. I mean, they found blood, I guess, at her house.
Yeah.
Like you said, she's very old and has health issues. I don't know. I feel like even the stress of that event, I was thinking just like as a, 84-year-old, I think she is, just the stress of that event, I feel like would be hard on, her heart and her stress and everything. Like, even if she didn't have, health problems, I feel like that would cause some issues.
Of course, like, that terror and anxiety of what is happening and what could happen, does a number on you. And also, whoever is torturing her and has her held captive, they're in this weird position of power because they know how high profile this is. Like, they know that the world, the nation, the president is talking about this. Like, they probably are relishing in this. And God willing, she's alive, but like, even if she is she privy and seeing these videos of her children pleading for her life? Like, it's all really bizarre. And so to backtrack a little bit, the Saturday the 31st, last Saturday, basically Nancy went to her daughter's home for dinner. And then around like 10 p.m., they dropped her back off at the house. Her garage door opened and closed at 9:50. And then the next morning, Sunday, February 1st, 1:47 a.m., Nancy Guthrie's doorbell camera was disconnected. So that seems like that's where shit started. And even like understanding how to like disconnect the camera to not get caught on the camera beforehand, like, these are all like technical skills that feel like are from like professional kidnappers, which, like, get a new job. Like, isn't there anything else you could do better with your time?
Yeah, it was definitely like studied, it seemed, or like she in her house, it was definitely studied, it seems like, because
For
it
sure.
just seemed very organized and coordinated.
Yeah, and like fairly clean for like abducting somebody. Like, it didn't seem like the home had any signs of weird force, or like I mean it's, you know, happening in the early wee hours of the morning, so
Right.
safe to say she was probably asleep. Like, what else was she doing? She's
Right.
84. And then at 2:12, the camera software detected a person on the camera, but for whatever reason, no video is available. I guess they didn't have a subscription to the camera company. Therefore, I guess the camera footage doesn't save. It just
Hmm.
loops and covers up whatever that means, the sheriff said. But it seems like it also could possibly have been an animal outside that had triggered the software, which I guess, like in rural Tucson or whatever, there's like scary animals out there.
So, but isn't that weird because they said her doorbell was disconnected
Yeah, that is true. So, like,
for
how
coming
many?
that video?
I don't know what the fuck is going on with
Unless
all
they
these
literally
cameras.
mean like the doorbell part was disconnected and not the camera.
Yeah, the doorbell camera disconnect, because they maybe she had like a ring cam and they just like
Yeah.
snatched it out.
Hmm.
And then at 2:28, Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker app was disconnected from her phone, which that's scary because,
That
again,
is
as you
scary.
said, like she has heart issues and now her pacemaker is disconnected from her phone. Like, was the phone left at the house and then she was taken away? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. They haven't said anything about her phone, or, I mean, I think the kidnappers would probably know to like leave the phone there. Like, we don't need to be bringing this around because God knows they could track every move with your phone.
They could probably track the pacemaker, I would assume somehow. But
Yeah. Ugh,
obviously, I don't know how that works. But
it's so weird. And so at 11 a.m., Nancy, a good church going lady, didn't go to church, and her friend ended up calling the family. I guess it was like a red flag. Like,
mhm.
where is she? They end up going to her house a little bit before noon. She wasn't there. They call the cops. Cops come at 12:15, and from that point on, they launch a search operation, including the use of drones and search dogs. And then at 6:45 that evening, the Pima County Department of the Sheriff's Department posts on social media saying she's missing. And then from there, there's like nothing.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it is. They could have gotten so far too. Unfortunately, like by the time they searched and everything, like I'm not sure how helpful the dogs. I mean, obviously they can like pick up scents, but not sure how helpful the like drones and stuff could be unless they thought, they killed her and dumped her locally or something.
Yeah,
But
and also again, like she's 84 years old. It's not like she could be like on the run where like a drone
right.
would be like catching them like running down the street. Like she's an older woman. Even her
Hmm.
family mentioned like they're like she was in not the best health where she couldn't even walk many yards without it becoming like a physical
Hmm.
problem. So now she's like fleeing with her kidnappers. Like it feels like
Yeah.
she's just like in a basement somewhere. Unfortunately, like I don't, did you see the movie Begonia? That came out.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the whole time, I'm like, what? It's giving Begonia, and I hope it's not that fucking drastic.
Yeah.
But I hope she's not a alien or whatever. Um, but yeah, so we pretty much don't have anything concrete. The FBI was willing to give a $50,000 reward,
Hmm.
but it seems like whoever this ransom letter writer is wants more money, and in Bitcoin, of course, it's like a non-traceable form of cash. Um, I mean,
She's in
just
Arizona, right?
yeah,
Did I
she's in
pick that up?
Tucson.
I mean, unfortunately, if something happened, that could be one of those situations where like she gets like dumped or buried in a desert nearby or something and like is
Yeah.
never found.
Well, that's the
That's
thing
that,
in Arizona. Like, there's a lot of land with nothing going on, and
hmm.
no one for miles. So, yeah, dumping a body seems fairly easy. And it's also kind of close to, the Mexico border. So they could have driven her over into Mexico. And then at that point, it's like, there's not much to find. Like, they're not going to find you there. That's for damn
Yeah.
sure.
No, that's true too. I
Oh,
didn't think about that.
it's so crazy. But there was also supposedly a mysterious white van that had been in the neighborhood. One of the neighbors was saying that they saw a suspicious white van on their street, and the vehicle had no labels or signage on the outside. And they even noticed, like, all right, well, if there was like a whatever, a company coming to fix something, they leave, but the car had been there for 72 hours, they said. So that was a suspect
Yeah.
situation. But again, like, there's like nothing.
Yeah,
It's,
that's weird they like have that vehicle and then supposedly lost it. Like they can't follow it with traffic cams or see where it went or
yeah. And it's
and
just
they would
all,
need some sort of van or something, I would assume, like a bigger car to get her out because like you said, she's not gonna be running away with
yeah.
that. So I mean, they probably had to like pick her up and shove her into a van and drive off or something.
And it can't be like a one man band. Like, this
Mhm.
definitely had to be like a multi person coordinated attack. Like, one person to maybe grab her, maybe another one, because she's an older woman. She's 150 pounds. And so, assuming she was fighting for her life a little bit, it's probably two people. One person had to drive the van. And then I was also seeing online this interview with this like criminal investigator or whatever. And she was talking about how there has to be a division of labor within a case that's so high profile like this. And like, the person who's like willing to physically abduct her is also probably not the person who's like super well versed in like cryptocurrency and Bitcoin trading. Like, that those are
Oh,
kind of like different types of criminal skills. So it's probably like a group of people who have been targeting her, and
yeah.
like, let the lady go. And I feel like oftentimes, like, these kidnappers, like, they could try to be like, all right, let's hold her for a few days, try to get the money, whether it's 50 grand or this Bitcoin, and then we'll release her. But like, I
Mhm.
kind of get like this sick feeling that like maybe something went wrong. And then now they're like,
Yeah.
fuck. Like,
Because they asked in one of I'm not sure if it was the most recent one or the one before, but in the video, Savannah and her sibling, they asked for like proof of life. If we're
yeah.
gonna pay you, we need to hear from her and see her to like know she's okay.
And,
So,
and they even said, like, within that proof of life, like, now in the world that we live in with AI, like, you don't know what's real and you
mhm,
don't know what's fake. They could easily like take her voice from one of her appearances on the Today Show and
that's true.
generate that into some kind of fucked up plea from her mom. Like, it's just so devastating. And poor Savannah was obviously supposed to be in Milan this week for the
Yeah.
Olympics. Like, she's like, a little change of plans.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
I
in fucking
guess.
Tucson looking for my mother. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems targeted. Like the odds that it would be Savannah Guthrie's mom are like slim to none.
yeah.
Um, But yeah, it just brings so many questions like why her mom and not why not Savannah or why not one of Savannah's kids, God forbid if she has any.
No, we're like,
But
pick
it's
someone
like
else.
yeah.
But no, but it's true. Like, what are you gonna do with this 84-year-old woman? It just feels like exceptionally cruel to target
Mhm.
her mother, who is an old lady. Like,
Yeah.
let the lady freaking live. And now they're, yeah, like you said, they're possibly targeting Savannah's sister's husband, Tommaso, who's
Mhm.
Italian. I guess there's this one reporter, Ashlyn something, and I guess she is like claiming that it's this brother-in-law and that their car had been taken in the investigation to, I guess, check for prints or something.
Mhm.
But that was also like reported in the New York Post, so like, take that with a grain of salt. And the Post actually did come out with an article this morning, again, not the most reliable source, but they said that I guess neighbors were looking at aerial drone footage of the roof of her house, and they noticed that an area had been freshly painted and sealed. And then it seems like the cops ended up going up there and found a new camera that they didn't know about in advance.
Mm.
So it could possibly be the kidnappers like going up there and kind of placing their own cameras to case the joint to kind of see
Yeah.
her comings and goings. And they're like, all right, she just got back at 10 p.m. from this dinner. Let's strike. She's home, which all of it is just, makes my skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah, that's crazy, especially since she just had dinner with the daughter. and then it's her allegedly, possibly her husband. That's kind of, I don't know, something's weird about that for sure.
Yeah. And like with the husband, like he's like, really, I'm gonna fucking steal my mother-in-law? Like it feels like it's not realistic, but I think at this point they're like, anyone, it could be anyone.
Anything, yeah.
Like, please, like, give us something, get us a little bit closer. And they
Hmm.
always say like the first 48 hours are like when they have the highest probability of like finding the missing person or finding the killer, murderer, or whatever. And
Yeah.
so the fact that it's been a week and there hasn't been like any real substantial developments in the case, at least that the public is aware of, is shocking
Yeah.
and just
100%.
fucking sad. I mean, so bleak. I hope she's found. And the thing is like, even if she's found, this poor woman, like, won't have the rest of her life,
Hmm.
like, in a safe body. Like, she'll constantly be fearful of something like this happening again. And
I would never be able to sleep again if that happened to me.
literally never. I
Yeah.
always, like, when I was little, for whatever reason, like my biggest fear was like being robbed and like having someone in my room like robbing me, as like, and like even then, like the thought of that feeling of being violated in your safe
Hmm.
space, like it freaks me out. And to think like this poor lady's just like laid up in bed
I
and
know.
people come in and snatch her, all because her fucking daughter might have hosted a debate. Like,
Right. It's crazy. And I mean, now that we were talking about it, it just made me think like, I don't know about the son-in-law because that seems like a little too close to
yeah.
family. Like, if
Where
he
would he
did
put her?
get the money, I feel like they would be like, "Oh, all of a sudden he's rich. Wonder how that happened." Like,
The
it'd be kind
sister's
of
like,
obvious.
wait, honey, are you driving a new Porsche? We just paid like $1 million in
We don't get
Bitcoin.
money for this yacht.
No, that would be crazy. If the plot twist comes out that it's the Savannah's brother-in-law,
I'll
emergency
be,
podcast episode,
yes, I'll be shook.
I will be so fucking shook.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could literally talk about that all day. But as like
Yes.
deeply,
That's
it's
sad.
so fucked up. Like some of these stories that like you report on whatever, and it's like, oh, we're just talking about an 84-year-old woman getting snatched out of bed, but that's the life we freaking live. Like,
And then moving on.
yeah, I know. I'm like, moving on to other devastating news. Kelly Clarkson leaves her talk show.
Ugh.
So Kelly Clarkson, the OG from American Idol, I'll never forget. She came out this week saying after years of an intense daily schedule, she's excited to move at a different pace and have more flexibility to spend time with her kids without the structure of a daily show. Like, I love when people are just like, enough's enough. I don't want to do this shit
Mhm.
anymore. I didn't get canceled. I just don't want to do it. And the grind of a
Yeah.
daily show, like, just take a residency in Vegas and
Right.
make your money, a
Make
couple
way more money,
performances a
probably.
month. Like, you don't need this, Kelly. Move
Yeah.
on.
She can do better.
She can. And I forgot that her ex-husband passed away in August. So she
Yeah.
has like an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old kid with this man. These kids are dealing with the aftermath of their father's death.
Mhm.
Like, Kelly is like, I feel like a well-adjusted celebrity, which like I
Yeah.
feel like that's an oxymoron just saying that. But I feel like she's like, we don't need to constantly be out of the house. My children are like are very much like mourning their father, and even though it's her ex-husband, of course it's like a huge death, a huge loss in their
Yeah.
life. Like, I liked that she was like, you know what, I'm good.
Yep. No, me too. And I did see that she's doing The Voice All-Stars
Oh,
season. I don't know if that's totally true. It could have been one of those like, you know, I don't know, fake AI things that randomly make news on Twitter or something.
yeah,
But I did see that, so it's not like she's, hiding away forever. Like you said, she's just like getting away from like the everyday talk show thing. Um, which I think is good for her, and I think it was good that she is taking that time because I feel like she was still mourning the divorce
yeah,
even when he passed away because it was still recent and there was so much drama with that. And then I think everyone kind of knew it was coming. There had been rumors for months about it, about her stopping the show, I mean. So I don't think it was like a crazy surprise to everyone, although sad, I think a lot of people liked her and her show. So
It's like, like, I guess I'm like a working woman. I'm like, I just don't watch daytime talk shows, but
yeah,
I
no, me
guess
neither.
I guess there's a lot of people who do. I guess like people who are staying home with their children or whatever, homemakers. But like, I don't know. For me, I'm like, I'd rather just like be ripping through old seasons of like Beverly Hills Housewives
Yeah, for
instead of
sure.
watching like Kelly Clarkson interview some
Yeah.
B-lister. Like, and I think like the times of daytime talk shows are changing. Sherry
Hmm.
Shepherd's also not going to be coming back for a fifth season. However, her show was not renewed. She's not stepping away voluntarily. And industry insiders are saying it's because just like the landscape of these types of shows are just changing. Like it's not bringing in enough money to justify the astronomical cost it takes to put on this show. And I think we saw that with like Stephen Colbert's Late Show, and then even Taylor Tomlinson, the comedian, her After Midnight show is also canceled. Like I think these networks are like scrambling to figure out
Hmm.
how to afford like expensive like legacy media television shows in a landscape where it's like people really want to watch like Bethany Frankel's TikToks of her in her fucking closet. Like that's costs $0
Yeah.
to make and gets a lot more eyes than like a Sherry Shepherd show or Stephen Colbert's Late Show, which like who's up at 11 p.m. like
Right.
watching late night TV? Like daytime,
I'm in
I
bed
don't watch.
scrolling.
Yeah, that's like
If I'm
perfect doom
awake.
scrolling time. Like,
Exactly.
I do feel bad for Sherry Shepherd because she came in to replace Wendy Williams, which like those are pretty big shoes to fill, literally
That was kind of
and
a lose-lose
metaphorically.
situation, unfortunately, because she was replacing Wendy. Um, I do think she, for the most part, was a good pick. I do love her. I think she's great. I like watching her in, different media. Um, I think, yeah, again, it was just kind of a lose-lose situation. I feel like that's what would have happened with anyone trying to fill those shoes because,
Yeah,
you know, Wendy is Wendy.
I mean, I want to actually do like I do these like deep dives on the show where it's like Freaky Friday deep dives where I like
Mhm.
spend far too much time, far too much time focusing on one specific person, and I've been like dying to do like a 7-part Wendy Williams deep dive, but
Oh my gosh, yes, that would be great.
just watching that documentary of her where she was like losing her mind in real time, that was so painful to watch and it felt so exploitative.
Yeah,
Yet
it's
I
sad.
couldn't take my eyes off of it. Again,
Yeah.
like I'm a sicko. So like I couldn't stop and I was like I remember I had to like download like a weird app, like it was on like Pluto TV or something, and I was like
Mhm.
$9.99 a month, fine. I'll watch it.
Worth it.
Yeah, worth every fucking penny. But yeah, Wendy leaving was definitely a big, shock to I think daytime television. And then now it's like the big people are like Drew Barrymore, close talker
Mhm.
Drew Barrymore, and then Jennifer Hudson, who I feel like
Yeah.
really has like, I feel like people now need to have their shtick. Drew is like, of
Yeah.
course, she's an A-list celebrity. She does the close interviewer. It's very like casual and they're comfortable. It's not like a formal kind of show. And then Jennifer Hudson's show, she has like that hallway walk moment that's like kind of viral that I feel like has kind of captured like the social media audience in addition
Mhm.
to the normal cable television watchers. And then Tamron Hall, I feel like she's kind of like a close third, but
Yeah.
I mean, again, like no offense, but I wouldn't watch any of those shows, but I like
Yeah.
would never.
Drew Barrymore show is very cringy to me.
So
Love
cringy.
her. Love her. But yeah, a little cringy. With
Yeah.
her very close interviews makes me uncomfortable to even watch. Uh,
I like remember COVID, 6 feet.
yeah,
We need 6 feet. Like you do
at
not
least
need to
six
be nose
inches.
to
Like, Come on.
Also, like, I don't know if I'm just like a cold bitch, but like, I don't want another stranger like holding my hands. Like, I'd be like,
Oh yeah,
I need you to stop. And then I feel like, yeah, if I was ever on the show, like the moments on YouTube would be like, Megan is physically uncomfortable
yeah.
by Drew Barrymore touching her. And
Pulling away her hands.
yes, exactly. Like it would be on TikTok. Like, please don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm like anti-touch, but anti-touch by Drew Barrymore is fake, insincere interviewing style.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wish I was home during daytime TV hours. Like, I wish I was able to like watch TV during the day, but
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can't.
It seems like I just called her J Hud just because that's what I see on Twitter. But Jennifer Hudson, she is rumored to be canceled as well, though no
Ooh.
one knows anything yet. That could just be, people being messy because the other two got canceled. People are like, oh, why did Kelly and Sherry get canceled? Which now we know that Kelly decided to leave, but why did she get canceled when Jennifer Hudson has like a horrible interview style? And like that's the shtick. Everyone like craps on her for that because she's like so overreactive and asking like dumb questions respectfully. And so people are like a little confused about that. But I mean, she is on a prime network for sure. And obviously she's a huge name and talent in general. So it kind of makes sense. And then Tamron Hall is she's like a legit like talk show
Yeah.
journalist, like, so
And
she's
that's like what
very good.
people like, at least for me, like I find myself out of all of the three of them, like Tamron Hall is the one whose interviews I will go and watch. I can't remember who she
Mhm.
had a couple, I mean, I can't remember who exactly it was, where I was like, oh, I have to go to Tamron Hall to get the scoop. But again, like you said, she's a journalist, she knows how
Mhm.
to conduct an interview. And I feel like these like programming directors at these networks are like, Drew Barrymore, she's a huge hit. Everyone loves her.
Yeah.
Let's throw her in a talk show. Kelly Clarkson, she's an amazing singer. Maybe she could host a show. And it's like, just because there's like a big name drawing you to a show doesn't mean that you can like host a interview
Mhm.
talk show and like engage the audience and know the right follow-up questions. Like I find that with Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live, like the thing that is so special and different about his show, I always have found, are his follow up questions. Someone will
Mhm.
say whatever to spark something in his head, and he doesn't ask, a direct question back. I feel like he kind of like sugarcoats a kind of shady question back to them, and then he gets exactly the answer he wants back from
Mhm.
them, with them still feeling comfortable, with it being very casual. And I can't remember what interview it was, but I think it was with Amanda and Sierra from Summer House, and he was
Mhm.
asking them a question, and then there was just like this one question he lobs over to them, and you see like his eyes squint, and he's like, I'm gonna get them to answer whatever shady thing I want. Like it popped into my brain, and now I'm gonna lob it back to them, and then they give
What do
him
you want?
exactly like they give him the exact soundbite he wants, and like the producer in his little headpiece is like, very good, Andy, very
Yeah.
very good.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, I love it too. And I mean, this is a perfect segue to the new E show. E, you guys, not Bravo, E. It's been a
Yep.
minute since I watched E.
Right.
E has greenlit a new show called The Golden Life, which is a new docuseries starring the OG Real Housewives of New York girlies. This is Luann de Lesseps, Jill Zarin, Ramona Singer, Kelly Ben-Simone, and Sonia Morgan's return back to television.
Yes.
I cannot wait.
I have so many thoughts and opinions. I am
Lay it
very
on me.
excited. I am very excited that they got back on TV. I think, first of all, it's like a little shady. They call it the Golden Life, but I guess
I
that's
thought so
accurate.
too.
I was like, no way they approved that, but whatever.
Luann is like, excuse me?
Yeah,
Maybe, Ramona's in her golden era,
right.
but me, I'm still
Luann's
fine
like,
as
I'm
fuck.
20 the world. I'm 30. What are you talking about?
Literally. She looks 30. She's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yes, very excited for them. To me, this just like speaks to Bravo's inability to listen to fans, first of all, because people have been asking to bring them back, or at least mix a couple of them with like the new RHONY cast, which, as we all know, flopped and failed.
Massive flop.
So yeah, it just really highlights that for me. It's like, they took it to another network, and E was probably like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming and bringing viewers back to our channel.
Exactly. Well, it's like, daytime talk shows are struggling, but also like main networks, like a network like E is just struggling in general to find where they can find an audience that's actually interested in what they have outside of like reruns of the Kardashians, which, like, no shade, I love to see it.
Yes.
I mean, one thing that has shocked viewers, or one thing that has shocked fans, is that there is no Dorinda medley on this reboot. And honestly, I love Dorinda, but I don't think she is meant for a reality show like this anymore. I think she was put on pause by Bravo, and I think E was like, you know what? She's also on pause with E. Like, she's doing she's doing very well on Traders, and that's a format where she is contained. There is not unlimited booze and drama and this and that. Like, it's a contained environment for Dorinda, and I think that's the sweet spot of what she should be focusing on. But I mean, I'm not sad that she's not coming back.
Yeah, I'm not losing any sleep over it, for sure.
I can't sleep.
I did hear that she will make lots of cameos.
Yeah, you can't keep her too far.
I'm sure she will. Yeah, so, it'll be interesting to see.
The log line of the show says, in this new golden era of life. Yikes. The longtime friends are thriving in and around Palm Beach with fabulous second homes and a bustling social scene with their signature humor and nonstop hijinks. The series will follow the group as they are navigating dating, family, and career milestones. Again, I'm all for all of this. Having them down in Palm Beach, I've said it on this show many times. Like, I think Palm Beach is haunted at this point. Like, with all of the Epstein of it all, and then, I mean, even now with members only Palm Beach, I feel like those ladies are shaking in their boots. They're like, wait. What do you mean? Another group of golden era ladies on a show? It's too close to home, literally.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. I mean, obviously they live there, so they're not going to like move back to New York for the show. I mean, they probably would, but
100%. Jill is like, I've got my bags packed.
Yeah, wherever you need me.
Yeah.
But it is weird because Palm Beach is like, I mean, I've never been there, but it's much smaller than like New York City, where it's not a huge deal if there's multiple reality shows there. Whereas like Palm Beach, they probably all go to the same places as, the members only cast, and they go to the same parties. We know that, I forget the lady's name. I actually meant to look it up before, but one of the main ladies of members only Palm Beach, she's besties with Jill Zarin.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So there's just like a lot of overlap, and it just feels weird.
Yeah, and Jill Zarin, we all know she's been like dying to get back onto Bravo, and Andy pretty much wrote her off years ago. I guess like there was a whole thing about like her setting up a wire where she was like recording conversations with Andy so that he couldn't manipulate their situation. And I remember that being a thing years ago, and then Andy at that point was like, okay, we're done. But she came on Ultimate Girls Trip, but not with the RHONY ladies when they had their own, which like was an epic show. Loved that. But Jill has said through that one friend on Members Only Palm Beach, I can't remember her name. I don't know if it was Hillary or
yes.
Yeah. That's with Hillary. So Jill was trying to get on to Members Only, but they pretty much were like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. And so obviously Jill probably had something to do with this show. And Bethany came out in a video basically being like, of course they asked me to come back. Everyone wants me, yada, yada. I said no. All right, whatever. Fine, Bethany. We're fine. We don't care. But Jill then came back saying like, Bethany thinks she's the Beyonce and she can't be on an ensemble crew. And then she also then says and makes it very clear that like, this is my show and we did not ask you nor want you to be on this show.
Yep.
And, Jill made it very clear, like, this is my show, which is something she also did in the OG RHONY, where she was like, I found Bethany, Bobby found Bethany, I'm the reason Bethany's a thing. And it's like, honey, just because you open the door for someone doesn't mean you get to take every accomplishment that they've had since opening that
Very
door.
true.
Like, they created the opportunities for herself, which even Bethany, like, in her rebuttal videos, she was like, I'm a significantly more successful now than when I sold Skinny Girl, and I don't need this show. I'm like, yeah, honey, but you put out 14 TikToks a day, so you're
Yeah.
still looking for some attention.
Yeah. She's a mess. Sorry.
She's a mess. Okay,
She's a
I was
mess.
telling you earlier, and I'll tell the listeners, you guys, I got blocked by Bethany Frankel on TikTok. New development as of this morning.
Congratulations.
I was like, why did she block me? And then I was like going back through my TikToks, and I was like, oh yeah, I did make like a very pointed video about like her taking down videos of her 4K up close and personal bacterial infections. Like, I felt like it was a valid critique of her
It is.
work, but I guess she was like, do not
Not
comfort my TikToks.
She's very sensitive about her TikToks.
It's all she has at this point, which is kind of sad. And I mean, I've always loved Bethany, and I've been rewatching season 6 or 7 of RHONY right now, just to like, it's like sleepy time television. But it's when she comes back after her hiatus and after her show gets canceled and after, the contentious divorce proceedings and all of that. And she's, of course, so funny. She has such a great way with words and is so biting and just aggressive, but she's so angry and insecure and jealous and mean that, like, it felt like sad watching her a little bit. Like, you came back to this show, all the other ladies, Ramona's a nut job idiot, Luann's Delulu and like living in her own bubble, Sonia's a drunk hot mess, making out with like an 18-year-old at this dinner. Like, it's all, everybody has their own thing, but like Bethany's energy was so negative and mean, and I don't know where she is in her life now. Like, we don't know like really her personal life per se, other than like she moved to Florida as well, and her kid moved with her, and it's all good things. But I wouldn't want that energy to be brought back onto this show, because I mean, we all know like Luann and Ramona and Kelly and Sonia, like, they're all still kind of like fluffy idiots. I think Jill is like a little toxic too, so we should see where that we'll see where that takes us. But
Yeah.
I'm glad Bethany is not involved in this new golden life. She probably also doesn't think she's in her golden era, so she's like,
right.
whoa, you ladies are, not me.
You have to change the title of the show.
I know. I hope it's a working title, because it's giving Golden Bachelor. Like, is Golden the new
I was going to say, it's almost like, just when we were talking, I just thought of this, but it's almost like Golden Girls, because they're in Florida. They're technically the same age as when they started, even though they looked way older.
Yeah.
Back then, because of like hairstyles and stuff. But a lot of them are single. They're very sexually playful and fun, and like, I don't know. It just feels like a play off that, which is kind of funny.
That's such a good point. I guess I didn't think about that. And I mean, I don't think Luann or Sonia have a home down there. I'm not sure about Kelly. Okay. But like, I want Luann and Sonia to be roommates again. I feel like we need that arc again, where like Luann was living in the townhouse and Sonia was like, you're never home, bitch. You're always with men. It's like,
I need them in like a little motel at the beach, kind of like
Crappy Lake.
Crappy Lake.
Oh, which even like the two of them, I loved Crappy Lake. I loved their dynamic with one another, and I think they are so real and authentic, even when the cameras are there. Yeah. Again, that's something I don't really foresee with Jill. I think Jill thinks she's smarter than the producers and smarter than the editors, and will find herself in the exact same position she was in season 3 or season 4 of RHONY, where it's like, Jill, like, we've all had enough. Like, you need to chill out. What viewers want are like, Luann and Sonia like going to a dive bar and one of them is hooking up with the bartender, and one of them is like hustling a guy playing pool, and they all like everyone like gets laid at the end of it. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, like we want like fun, easy breezy. Of course, there's always drama, but with Ramona, with all of them, like their drama is so like low stakes and idiotic. Where
Right.
again,
It's like fun.
yeah, it's fun drama, but I feel like Jill has like a bad energy associated with her. So
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how she balances that out. If she'll come back, probably not, but if she comes back a little more like humble, like,
yeah,
okay, we got canceled, we're on a new network, let's try again. Probably not, but just being hopeful.
yeah, we'll
I don't know.
see. I mean, Andy Cohen, King of Bravo, he said, I'm so excited for them. I texted the ladies yesterday. It's going to be a great show. I could never not root against these women. Boy, I sound like Danielle Staub there. I absolutely love them. I love them together. So does America. I'm going to speak for America, and I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to watch. I'm so happy for them. And like, I think you made a good point where like Bravo was not listening to what people wanted, and
Yeah.
E was.
hmm And so many people are going to be watching this,
I
and
can't wait.
without a doubt. And it's going to create so many, viral moments, I'm sure. And it's just going to be a good show, I think. Even if it's
Can't
like,
wait.
I don't know, even if it has no structure, it's just them because they're just so good for TV.
But even like the lack of structure is just so great. Even like one of
Yeah.
my favorite moments on the Ultimate Girls Trip when they all went to wherever Turks and Caicos or St. John or wherever they went.
hmm
When like Ramona like couldn't find her like underwear or her bathing suit bottoms or something, and like seeing that Karen like run around the house yelling at the staff, like I like moments like that are things that like production can't fabricate. It's just
Right.
simply a psycho having a meltdown over something so trivial like whatever bikini bottoms or
hmm
whatever she was missing that was like
And that's
in
what
the
she's doing for
laundry.
TV. Yeah.
It's just perfect for television. Low stakes drama.
Yeah.
Again, low stakes for us as the viewers. The poor people who
Yeah.
worked at the house are probably like, I need therapy after dealing with fucking Ramona Singer. But it's just fun, and I can't wait. And
Do you
I
believe Andy?
I think Andy's probably like, you know what? I have all these bitches out of my text messages at this
Mm,
point, like asking
that's
for
so true.
for more time on RHONY. I feel like he's like, eat, you could take them, like they are your problem now.
That's true. I didn't think about that. That's
But
probably why he's
also,
so happy.
you have to wonder, like, will they still like go to BravoCon? Like, are they now going to
hmm
shift their allegiance over to E? I can't imagine like Bravo wouldn't still accept them with open arms, especially like Luann right now, who's like doing every Ultimate Girls road trip thing and like zip lining into Kyle's party.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I would love to see their contract about like non-compete stuff
Yeah.
because she did the what was it called? The singles
Oh,
thing.
Love Hotel.
Love Hotel.
Loved that show.
Yeah, that was good. She did that. None of them have been on Traders yet, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, none of them.
Um
Which
I
that's
don't
always the
think
next
that
stop.
could be a huge issue because it's E, not like I don't know, a big competing thing, but um I'm sure they'll still be on Watch What Happens Live or every once in a while because other networks like go on there. Um,
And I feel like E and Bravo, they're kind of like sister networks. Like I feel
mhm,
like they're kind of
yeah,
like it together in this like cable's dying.
yeah,
Let's band together. Anything that
exactly.
helps your people helps our people. And well, I am excited to watch. We have no timing on when this will be coming out, but I'm going to be ready for it. Whenever it is, I'm very ready.
And did you notice the timing of the Real Housewives of Rhode Island trailer? They dropped it. Actually, first they teased it with the photos and the
Hmm.
um, shells and pearls or whatever. Yeah, teased that. It was either 1 day or 2 days after the RHONY
Mm.
news. And then they said we're dropping the trailer, and then they waited another day or two, which made me think they were like scrapping to get it together
Yeah. They're
to
like, cut
take
the
away
edit
from their
faster.
news. Yeah.
Exactly. They're like, we're still here. We have great new shows coming out.
Yeah. That's what it felt like to me. I don't know.
Well, all these, like, there's so much, like, behind the scenes in these networks. And, if they were
Mhm.
probably sitting on that trailer and they're like, yeah, fuck, these ladies got a lot of press for this new Golden Life show. Like, we got to put our stuff out. Like, let's get people talking. Even though, yeah, we
Yeah.
have 12,000 shows currently airing, but we still can find more things for Bravo people to foam at the mouth about.
Yeah. Especially because everyone was talking about how Bravo dropped the ball and, E got it, and then they released that. Just seemed interesting timing.
Well, last but not least, we have to talk about Bronwyn Newport from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City coming in hot with a new 32-year-old boyfriend named Brandon Good, a hot model who has also posed in Playgirl with Luann de Lesseps, naturally.
Wild.
And I mean, she just got separated from Todd. Again, we don't always know like the timeline of things, and I find Bronwyn to be a very unreliable narrator, especially discussing her own life.
Hmm.
So I feel like she could have started filming the last season and they could have already been donezo behind the scenes, and she was just playing it up so that she could drop the breakup news on the reunion rather than having a full season of having to talk about it. But she's moving pretty fast with this guy. They were spotted together at the Chicago opening with Whitney from Mormon Wives as Roxy Hart, and they were like photographed together as a couple by paparazzi. Like, it's not like these two going to a coffee shop together, the paparazzi snapped them. It's like, no, they intentionally went to an event with a million
It was definitely like
media
staged
companies
paparazzi fashion type photos.
for sure. And I
Yeah.
mean, girl, I feel like this is her like, I still got it. Like, even though I've been with an old farty guy for 10 plus years, like, I can still catch a hot guy.
Hmm. I agree. It's definitely giving that, which was like a little. I don't know if cringy is the right word, but it's like a little
It's like desperate.
odd. Yes. It's like you go from one end to the spectrum to the other. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. You probably have like a lot of fashion love in common. Um, because
Look
he's a
at you
model.
trying to find something. You're like, I don't know, maybe you both love fashion.
I'm trying. It's just like she spent all season, making claims about Meredith and Lisa and whoever seeing other people and, having bad time in their marriage and all this stuff. And then like behind the scenes, at least while this was airing, like we know she's doing this. Like supposedly they had been seeing each other um while the reunion was going on is like the timeline I've seen, allegedly. So that
Yeah.
bothers me.
No, it kind of does as well. Like I was saying, like I find her to be very calculated,
Hmm.
and I feel like she's really smart and a wordsmith, and she knows how to talk about her life and her situations and her fucked up situations in a certain way that's like very manipulative to audiences.
Yeah.
When if you really think back to like all of her conversations about her husband or her child or her child's father, that whole thing with Lisa, the necklace, like her like shady past with getting evicted and identity theft, like all of these things are like pretty damning, and she
Mhm.
doesn't deny any of them, but she's like, I was young. And it's like, okay, we've all been young, but like I also like didn't like steal someone's identity.
Right.
Like like being young and dumb and reckless is one thing, but like making a calculated choices to hurt people and like do shady
Hmm.
things, like yes, you might have been young, but also that isn't always like a perfect excuse. And I feel like she always has like her perfect defense for whatever is in her life, whether it's with
Yeah.
Todd. She spent the whole season like kind of dragging him, like, but kind of not, and saying they're still together. And then at the reunion, drops the bomb that they're separated all of a sudden. It felt very calculated. It felt like she knew that coming on this show would help her get the balls to leave him. And I
Hmm.
remember the guys on Watch What Crappens, they would always say like certain housewives are lily pad housewives, where they would like come on the show and jump on the lily pad, get their money, find their autonomy in life, and then fucking kick off, dump the farty old guys that they're married to, and who have been bankrolling their life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's
No, for sure.
picture perfect example.
Yeah, and she just always tries to gaslight the audience, and she's been caught lying so many times about things. Like, it always comes out, so I'm sure something interesting will come out about this, but I think she almost knows people dislike Todd so much that they don't care.
Yeah, they're like, good for her. Which, again, yeah, good for her. Like, she needs some like hot young guy. Like, I'm very excited for her. Hopefully she's, getting turned upside down and having fun. But like, it just feels like it's all very fast. And also to pick a guy who, like, supposedly Luann had a fling with, and we all know, like, Luann is like a vampire. If she thinks you're hot, she bites your neck and she sucks your blood. Like, she is, I feel like, a man eater, and that's what we know and love about her. But I heard Dorinda on her radio show on Sirius talking about Bronwyn's entire situation, and she basically was like, yeah, he's already eaten another apple from the housewives. Like, it's, old news. Like, I think he's like a housewives hunter, like a Slade Smiley type, like just trying to find another, housewife to cling on to. And
Peter Thomas.
Peter Thomas. Oh my God.
Yes, it definitely seems like that, especially because he's so young. I mean, he's not like crazy younger than her, but just because of his age and his career, and she's so connected in fashion because she has actually purchased these, couture pieces or whatever, especially from, was it Siriano?
Oh, yeah.
So that makes me think like he has alternative
Motives.
alternative motives, but she's like okay with that.
She's like, now. He's really hot.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like, I feel like she's like parading around with this guy. She was in the city the other day, and I guess she was like walking past this store, and like the display window had like a cherry, and she was like flipping the middle finger and took a photo of her, like, Cherry Gate 2025, never forget. And it's like, okay, girly, I get like you are over your ex, but like you are not divorced. You are not divorced. Like, pump the brakes. You're still spending all this guy's money. Like, relax. Like, you're only 40 years old. You have many, many, many years to have like hot 32-year-old boyfriends and to shit talk your ex-husband, but like secure the bag in the divorce first. Like, let's just pump the brakes. Like, we know he stole your cherry. That was disgusting and disrespectful, but like, girl, chill. We get it. But she was mortified. Like, just must have been so fucking mortified by all the shit that was coming out about him. She's like, fuck this guy. Oh, sure. He's gross.
Yeah. I mean, she definitely secured her spot on next season.
For sure.
So.
Well, Brandon, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for coming on. This was so fun.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'll be back anytime.
Oh, I know. I'm like, great. This time next week. Where can people find you and follow you and see all your awesome videos?
Yes, you can find me on Front Page Pop anywhere. Frontpagepop.com, Front Page Pop on Instagram, technically Front Page Pop 2 on TikTok because I got banned like 2 years ago. Had to make a new one, but yes, y'all can find me there. I would love if you would come join my community and follow me.
Yes, I will post all your links and whatnot in the show notes so you guys can easily find him. But thank you for coming on, and thank you guys for listening to I Know You Didn't Ask. Tune in, I think, for a Potomac and Beverly Hills conversation sometime this week. I'm going to hope to be able to pump that out, but time will tell. Thanks for listening. Bye. New episodes of the I Know You Didn't Ask podcast are out every Monday and Friday, available wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube.